Brandon and Julia crossed the line on 90 Day Fiance. Oh my god, you guys, I am fired up right now. Brandon and Julia, they were on 90 Day Fiance last night, and holy crap, for the love of God, they are so ungrateful and freaking out of their mind. Here is the scoop. If you don't already know, Brandon's dad, Ron, was turning 70 years old. Sorry, I have to say his name. I think the guy is so funny. He was turning 70 years old. Brandon's mom, Betty, wanted to throw Brandon and Julia a joint wedding party / a birthday party for Ron. I thought, oh, who cares? Brandon and Julia, you go to the party. You don't have to pay for anything. You don't have to set up anything. So you just go to the party, you say hi to everyone, you shut up, you eat some food, and you go home. Right? Wrong. Because they were fighting and fighting and fighting. And actually, to be honest with you guys, the truth is, the party started off with the idea of just being for Brandon and Julia, and then it kind of switched to, okay, well, if you guys don't want it to be just for you guys, then we can, include Ron, too, in the mix. That this is his birthday coming up, too. And finally, Brandon and Julia just agreed. They were like, whatever, we can do that. But for whatever reason, they did not want to have this wedding party, even though they got married in the middle of the pandemic, and literally no one did get to go to their wedding, or they didn't get to have a real ceremony. No one was there, so it kind of honestly did make sense. I was in favor of just saying, who cares? Go to the party, shut up, and go home. But they were fighting. Finally, they ended up having this party. They walk in, and then all of a sudden they realize, oh my god, half of the party is for Ron and his birthday. The other half of the party is for Brandon and Julia's wedding. And I was just like, oh, that's, cute, whatever, not a big deal. And Brandon and Julia literally lost it. And I was just like, what the heck is going on? Why do they care? So they went in, they were literally irate. They were so mad. And it was just like, what is going on? Both of them were just like, they were marching around all mad and upset. They weren't talking to anyone. And finally it got so bad they ended up pulling Betty to the side and basically just told her off. And usually I'm not a big fan of Betty, but I will say this time, she was even just like, what did I do? So, they told her off, and they literally ended up storming out of this party because they thought it was just going to be, mainly for Ron and his birthday, but ended up being like 50-50 for them and Ron. And they were upset about that. And I just sat there and said, wait a second. You didn't pay a single thing. You can eat and do whatever you want for free. Your friends and family are there. You didn't have to set anything up. Why do you care? So I don't know what in God's name is going through their head. I don't know why these two are so freaking entitled. Like, is it entitlement? Is it fake? Is it just for drama? I kind of honestly think that these two are just spoiled brats. I think for a fact Brandon is. I'll tell you guys why I think that in a minute. But I think Brandon is a spoiled brat. Julia, I don't know. Maybe she's just set in her ways. Maybe she is entitled. I really don't freaking know. But I can tell you guys one thing. They freaking crossed a line in the last episode, and that was not cool. And it made me, my respect for those two really kind of went down. So after that party happened, a day or so later, the four of them, even though this is so dumb because they lived together, but the four of them, like a couple days later, got together in the backyard, and they were talking about the party, and Ron and Betty, rightfully so, we're super mad at them. They were like, that was rude, that was uncalled for, we didn't do anything wrong, we just wanted to throw you guys a party, that was it. And so Brandon and Julia ended up talking to Ron and Betty, and they're basically just like, listen, we can't do this anymore, we have to move out. It was super awkward and super tense. And Brandon just said, listen, Mom and Dad, I have to move out. We have to move out, finally. I'm so curious, when was this filmed? I'm freaking curious if they moved out yet or not, but either way, they were like, we have to move out, we can't stay here any longer, this is just too much. And Ron, he said it again, he just said, no, how can you, he goes, you can't afford anything, you have no experience. And it's like, you know what, Ron, okay, listen, if the guy, let's just assume that he can't afford it, which then he probably shouldn't move out. If he legitimately could not afford to move out, like he's not gonna have enough money at the end of the month, no, he should not move out. Do I think that's the case? No, I don't. Especially now with 90 Day Fiance money and Cameo money. No way. They have enough money for sure. Ron's other issue, though, is he was just saying, listen, Brandon, you have no experience. You've never paid a light bill. You never paid this. And it's like, you know what, Ron, he's 28 years old. He needs to learn. So I do think it's good for them to move out. I just think it was kind of uncalled for and rude how they worded it, because then he was just going off and Brandon was mad, and then Ron was screaming at Brandon, and finally, Betty said the smartest thing. She just said, you know what, Ron, let them move out. Because another thing I wanted to mention too is apparently Brandon did move out, and I never knew this, but apparently Brandon years ago, maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, he did move out with a friend for like 2 or 3 or 4 months. And what happened was he wasn't paying any rent. He was just paying little stuff like the utilities and stuff. And I don't know if he ran out of money. I don't know what happened, but he, after, 3, 4, 5 months, he ended up coming back and moving back in with his family. Probably not even 5. I think it was like 3 to 4 months he moved back in. So this time now he has Julia. We'll see how it goes. I think those two are both incredibly rude. Maybe it was just fake. Maybe it was just for drama. I have no idea, but I'll tell y'all what, they were coming off very, 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 very rude. And while we're speaking of the Yara couples, we might as well talk about Yara and Joey because y'all, oh my God, we have some weird news. Okay, Joey ended up going to wherever he went for work for a couple weeks. We now know that for sure, but here's the issue. When he left, guess what happened to Yara? This is sad. I don't know how this happened, and it's freaking scary. I think she made it out okay, but she actually tested positive for corona, and it is freaking scary and sad. Literally, while he was gone, we saw him FaceTime her, and she was like, I have a headache, I feel sick, I'm sweating, I don't feel good, and then she went and tested positive. So my first thought was, oh my God, she's watching that baby. What does she do? Does she give the baby to Gwen, Joey's mom? Does she just stay with the baby? It's like, could the baby get it? It's pretty freaking scary. It sounds like it wasn't terribly severe, and that she's had a headache, cold type symptoms, maybe flu symptoms. Scary as heck. So completely terrifying. I feel bad for her, and I have no idea what happens. Obviously, in present day, it wasn't that severe because in present day, her, the baby, Joey, they're all fine. They're all still, alive and well, but it is still scary. Like, what would you do? So that's what happened with them. We did not get to see them, though. We just got to see a preview of them, and yeah, pretty freaking scary stuff. And then there was Tiffany and Ronald, and basically nothing happened besides the fact I knew this was going to happen because we got to see in a preview that Tiffany and, the 2 kids do go to South Africa. Well, now we can confirm this is what actually happens. The border is open. Ronald begs and begs and begs Tiffany to come to South Africa for the holidays, and he wanted them to go for 2 or 3 months, and she just said absolutely not. But so what she ends up doing is she ends up getting tickets for the 3 of them to go. They do end up going. He is ecstatic, and he's one of those kind of guys. What is this saying? I can't overthink it, but there's a saying in life where it's like you love to see him come, but you hate, or no, it's like you love to see it come, but you hate to see it leave kind of thing, where it's like, you hate both ways. I love Ronald, but I hate Ronald. So they do end up going to South Africa. Ronald is ecstatic, and he's telling, the son, you're my boy and everything, and it's like, oh, you can't help but love the guy, but also you can't help it but hate him. He has an awful past, and not even his past. Look at his present. The guy's a complete lazy slob. So it's like, I don't think it's going to work well for these two. I don't know what happens when they go to South Africa. All I knew was that they do go to South Africa. They do end up going. Daniel, the son's ecstatic, and it looks like Ronald's ecstatic, but also I think Ronald is a complete, I hate to use the word schmuck, but he kind of is kind of a schmuck, sorry. I hate to use that word, but it's kind of the case. So, yeah, it's just not looking good. I don't know. I don't know. That's all I'm going to say. I've seen stuff with these two on social media. I have absolutely no idea what happens after they go. I don't even know how long they go. I think they definitely do honestly get into some huge, gigantic fights, and I'm leaning more towards they're going to go. They have one-way tickets, and what will likely happen is after a couple weeks, they get into a gigantic fight, and boom, they go back to America, and that might be the end of Tiffany and Ronald. All right, y'all, thank you so much for watching. This was just the part 1 of the 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After What Actually Went Down recap. Everyone's been telling me to do shorter videos. I don't know why. I guess you can watch them faster, you can consume them easier. I have no freaking idea. I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna start doing I'm trying to do shorter videos, 7-10 minutes long instead of like, the 20-25 minute, because I get it. I don't want to, 25 minutes is pretty long. So I get it. I'm gonna try to start doing shorter videos. We shall see. But sometimes, I rant and rave and I don't realize how long that this thing is going on. So either way, I'm going to try to start clipping these things up and doing them shorter. I will give my best shot and try. Well, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button. Y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.